up. Looks like everything is booting on up. Yep, looks like everything is booted on up. Give me another moment to check my other computer. And, oh yeah, I need to activate live chat windows. And of course, turn on my macros. And looks like everything is good to go. Microphone's working? Yes, it is. So I just always have to double check that sometimes, because sometimes I don't realize my microphone's not working. Either way, let's get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires, not Age of Empires, Advanced Wars by Web Replay. Spawn on the south side as the Cobalt Blue Andy, we've got Nuojok. Spawn on the north side as the Orange Star Drake, we're at Muji 6. This appears to be a 2-base map, nope, 3-base map with one airport in the back. Both players use Dark Black Boat here. Interesting, I'm not sure what the Black Boats are really supposed to do. Isn't this variation of the map just have you start off a recon on top of your HQs? Could have sworn this map was a little bit different last time, I remember. This is a standard funds match, not high funds. There's also a seaport and comm tower in the corners, and of course comm towers inside, so it looks like both players have 2 easy comm towers. I think I've seen this map also be high funds. Maybe that's what I'm getting confused with. Hard to say on top of my head, my apologies. We have a recon for by Andy. This matchup can be quite interesting. Andy does have a power to nullify most of Drake's power and or superpower. Both will be very useful. Recon heading up north. So likely Andy would probably keep an eye on hyper repair and use hyper upgrade if needed. If Drake can somehow desync the power from Andy's power or superpower, that could be very good. Got multiple tanks being put up by Drake up north. And we may see a lack of aircraft by Drake. After all, minus 30% firepower is quite significant, though 2 comm towers come out to nullify that. Another tank down south by Andy. Another tank there. Nice about Drake is his tanks are completely and utterly ordinary. Andy, of course, has no day-to-day abilities. Does interrupt the capture there and will sack the recon for it. But he does have 2 tanks over here, so not necessarily sack it. He could still take out the recon there, but then put these 2 tanks out of range as these tanks. And thus, if Andy were to push forward one or both tanks, it will be immediately double tapped. Interested to capture the comm tower. And looks like a roll a little bit low, honestly. And then again, I'm partially used to Days of Ruin, which is a lot of the properties are 2-star rather than 3-star. Or at least cities. Comm towers in that game so are 3 stars. He decides to restart his capture there. It does get another turn of interval with 1 damage. Tank does hit tank. And this tank is out of range of this tank here. So should have this tank push forward, hit this tank. Got a Andy battle copter, which is completely and utterly ordinary. Decides to interrupt the capture of the comm tower. Not much damage, but just enough. Does tap the tank there, and will finish off the tank. Takes even machine gun bullets there. 1 capture part is remaining. If Andy gets enough power charge, he could hit this comm tower and deploy the hyper repair to get the capture going. Wait. Did he not even... Wait, no, that was true. I'm looking at the wrong player. If he gets enough power, He may want to hold off capturing on this property there, and maybe he eyed to pop his power if he wants to make sure he gets this secured. Though if he ends up not getting enough power charge or decide not to, then of course continue to capture. But he has a possibility of capturing it this turn. Whoops, I hit right click. We got an artillery piece in the tank there, and actually pulls back the infantry instead, so does not deploy all the power, didn't have a chance to. And not much conflict last turn. There's a tank heading down south. Looks like this tank will actually be merged, not double tapped, and it will be double tapped. Decides to take time and put a round of the pipe scene, doing a grand total of 6 whole damage. You monster. Anti-air tank and tank. Do have a mech here. Might as well. Andy's super does get plus 1 movement range on all units, which is quite nice. Andy now has his power, which could be useful to help securing properties. And right now, 80 does have 1 comm tower, while Drake has 0, so that's very nice. Neither side's gone for a lander just yet. Both sides could eye for T-Copter as well, the most economical aspect. A gunboat, or not gunboat, black boat on the shore here would be nice for some resupplies, but even then won't reach too far. Though it can reach up to the shore tile there. There's also a sea tile here, so you can put a blue water ship right there. A lot of infantry here. Need to push for this tank, but there's another tank nearby for Drake. Tank, infantry, and T-Copter. Tank will strike tank. Infantry hits infantry, infantry hits infantry, infantry hits infantry. And of course, infantry does hit infantry, as well as the infantry does go ahead and hit the infantry unit. Double twin field, got a mech T-Copter. So that's 15,000 funds, tank, and tank. Got both sides, a decent core of tanks here, though it looks like Drake has more core of tanks. He can pop the superpower if he wants to cause some fuel issues. It will probably force Andy's power, just... I don't know. He needs to try to eye a desync. And the thing as well, if Andy gets a full power charge, not like he can Drake's not deploy out power or superpower and delay it out, because he can just simply, if he pop his hyper repair rather than a hyper upgrade, and then he has almost enough for another hyper repair. So Andy should only eye deploying out his power when he's at fully charged, I would say. Because that way he has enough, almost enough leftover power charge to deploy his power in case if he gets hit by a superpower afterwards. Do have another pair of tanks. Right now I've got 19,000 versus 19,000 income. ATR is in range of the battlecopter, could be bait. Let's see, Indian's sort of 108, Drake's sort of 199, so he's only slightly behind. Got some mechs over here. Does boost that infantry of 1 hole or 2 hole tiles. Bit of a stalemate over on the right side. And Andy could start threatening some properties in a forced response, such as trying to capture this comm tower with this infantry unit there. Actually, nope, he's going to go into the T-Copter that one. Let's see, deploy all mech. Looks got a nice train of mechs I just now starting to notice. Battlecopter infantry tank. A human mech caterpillar, or in this case, penguin caterpillar. And Drake's trying to capture up a comm tower as well. Andy, of course, is passive 10 plus 10 plus, or plus 10% offense. Infantry, battlecopter, infantry, and infantry. Oh wait, no, that's a tank there. Yeah. Mine's been a little bit melted right now. Drops off that unit there, so soon to be economic comm towers. Infantry unit slightly advancing way forward, trying to zone out his opponent. In this situation, rockets could be utilized to help zone out your opponent. Mech, battlecopter, infantry, tank. It's one of the few times where I would say a rocket wouldn't be half a bad idea, just because it will help break the stalemate. Because right now, Andy has a very good amount of core tanks, so does Drake. And it's hard to say how the game will go. Drake will have to launch an attack under the effect of a typhoon, or in order to wound a wall. Of course, it'd be immediately to get repaired on up, but it could allow him to break through the wall a little bit more easily. Battlecopter does strike battlecopter. Andy almost has enough for a superpower. Battlecopter, infantry, tank, infantry. And keeping the wounded battlecopters alive means they can be repaired up quite nicely with a hyper upgrade. Even a hyper repair is going to be quite adequate. Let's go over all the front lines, just rotating all around. Tank, mech, tank. It's the infantry unit there. Comm tower has to be interrupted. You can't be forfeiting comm tower like that. Because if Andy gets that comm tower captured next turn, it will also be this comm tower, so it'll be 3 versus 1 comm towers. And plus 30% firepower is a significant amount. It does interrupt the capture there. But it's not interrupted enough because a hyper upgrade can get it to be captured. Would a hyper up... and that would DC the powers in favor of Drake, so maybe letting it get captured can be good, so he can get a typhoon without a issue. Let's see what he does. It's hard to say. It's probably best not to pop it just to capture the comm tower, because it's probably a trap. Besides pull it off poorly, rather than do a join capture. At least we'll get that topped off max health, that's for sure. Mech, infantry, mech, and battlecopter. 46 versus 40 units there. What is the, not log, not messages. This is the button I'm looking for. Unit limit 50, so Andy's almost at a pop cap. Unit limit. It's the mech. The mech heads pretty hard back, even harder back. And that can be fully upgraded. Or hyper upgraded. With him that being a pop unit cap, I would say join capture. Don't worry about preserving it. No preservatives. All natural. Let's get a strike there. While it's may not seem all too much, but having the artillery cover the infantry there means he can keep his front line established. He does pull back there. I wanted to see a join capture. Mech, battlecopter, infantry, and he's now a pop cap. Right now, Andy has 21,000 income versus 20,000 income, 191 versus 184, so Drake's only slightly behind. He did also save 9,000 funds last turn, interrupts a capture, and interrupts it quite a bit further this time. It looks like he's trying to shift this front towards the center here. I'm not sure how effective that will be. Just got a pretty good mass of tanks. Right now we do have 16 tanks versus 12 tanks with 5 battlecopters versus 3 battlecopters. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter. Typhoon has to be held. He needs to try to bait out Andy's superpower before trying to deploy it. He could pop the regular power and put Andy in awkward position. That may be a better choice at this moment. Oh, we got the full Typhoon immediately, so he's going to try to wall break now this turn. Right now, 80 has 157 versus 192. Hitting multiple tanks and tanks. Battlecopters pushing forward, doing some work. Anti-air takes battlecopter. Artillery piece gets range and does get fully eliminated. Left flank now. Get some infantry conflicts, but this front line probably should just stay where it's at. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. A right now has 34,000, maybe a neo tank. I don't think a war tank would be a good idea. He has right now 131 versus 208, and here comes repair or upgrade. Full upgrade. Got boosted back up to 176. So he's only, with his day-to-day, with his income he's on the bank, he's actually still ahead or roughly equal right now. But he also now has a firepower bonus of plus 10% with plus 1 mobility. Not to mention able to use battlecopters. Get some damage there. Mech finished off anti-air. Lots of good hits over on the right flank. Drake has no anti-airs in this region, so he has to deal with battlecopters the good old-fashioned way. We do got a medium tank instead of a neo tank. Mech and tank. Honestly, not a spectacular turn, just a good turn. Answer 195 versus 168. Battlecopter takes out battlecopter. Tank, wounded tank hits wounded tank and sackles all those tanks. Takes out that tank there. Hits the mech, finish it off. Goes for the other tank. It does get some good damage there. Does have the battlecopter surrounded in the center right here. And actually is shifting the anti-air over to pick it off next turn. Drake's now trying to secure this comm tower. Andy still has 1 comm tower advantage. Tank, infantry, anti-air. Gets a good hit there. Interrupts the capture. Good strike there on the tank. Tank on tank. Finish it off. Hits the infantry there. Mech takes a good shot there on that tank. Tank hits tank. Tank hits tank. Battlecopter gets hit by a tank. And trying to capture the despicable neutral property. Is that tank there? Property has 10 capture progress remaining. We do have a tsunami. Honestly, going for tsunami right now is not a bad idea. It will wound everything, and he's a little bit of a distance away from the highway repair. Tries to surround the tank at least from this side. Anti-air finish it off. Takes that wounded tank there. Right now, Drake believes he wish he has Andy's power. Hits the infantry down south. Neo tank, infantry. Medium tank needs to be careful of that neo tank and vice versa. Those neo tank has mountains on this side, so has to go up and around or go down south of winter. He does have a neo tank on the left flank as well, which could, or a medium tank on the left flank, so the neo tank could be used against it. Off that wooden tank there. Battlecopter is down to 25 fuel. May want to start heading back down south. Airport's a bit far away. Black boat's a bit far away. I don't know if he has enough fuel to get back down there. Man, squeeze out another Typhoon. Now I really don't think that battle cop has enough fuel to get back home. 13 fuel. Does pick up a number of units in the center. Hyper upgrade could be deployed out next turn. It's that tank there. Artillery, infantry, artillery. Saves a bit of money in the bank. And he has 13,000 on the field right now after all the day-to-day repairs. So quite a bit of repairs there. But here comes hyper repair or upgrade. Or maybe not. Going shots there. Trying to get some damage on his own units before he gets the repair going. Hyper upgrade there. Gets pushed back up to 173. And right now he's fighting against 162, so he does have a value lead on the field. This is a plus 10% firepower and plus 1 movement range this turn. Tank will be striking tank from the HQ, so good defense. Some good hits there. Puts around the mech. Mech can take another shot from the mountain, hit that tank there, and the 4 health mech may be able to finish it off. Then the medium tank may be able to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Will be arranged a neo tank there. So I think the neo tank pushed too far forward. Finish off that tank there. Interrupts the capture slightly. Pull back the wounded tank there. Tank push forward, hits the anti-air. Neo tank can strike the medium tank can strike the neo tank. Definitely a good call, I'd say. Does almost enough for a tsunami. Tank infantry. And it looks like the APC did manage to reach the battlecopter in time. Sacks the tank there on the anti-air, and we'll finish off there. Tsunami's now available. Infantry, medium tank. This black boat's on 5 fuel. The APC can start making its way over there to save the black boat, which could be useful. It's hard to say if he does, it doesn't. Medium tank needs some fuel either way, so it's probably a good idea to send the APC over that direction. Does reach the artillery there. Tank, battlecopter, infantry, and mech. Blue's gonna push them forward on the right flank, and it's turned 193 versus 16. Still 2 properties that are despicably neutral on the left side, as well as the column tower. Oh, we got right with Tsunami deployed in the field. Not big surprise. We saw that unit there. Put some rounds into the the medium tank. Neo tank will strike the medium tank, knocks it out. The wounded tanks are starting to be picked on off there. Perfect. Takes the 7 health tank as well. Tank, infantry. Battlecopter strike the battlecopter. APC resupplies the black boat. Not utilizing his power just yet. May just save for hyper upgrade. This 1 health tank, of course, will go up by 5 health for a hyper upgrade. Does take out the tank there. Hyper upgrades now available. Takes out the anti-air wall added. And the hyper upgrade will allow him to range the medium tank with his own medium tank, but it's on top of a property, which means 3 defense stars and repairs. Battlecopter, tank, artillery, and infantry. Boosts the mech there. Just throw some machine gun rounds to the battlecopter there. No hyper upgrade just yet. Medium tank will strike the regular tank. Does take a bit of damage there. Infantry tank. Blackcoat's probably getting pretty low on fuel, 14 fuel. Put some rounds of that pipe scene there, down to 1% health, so even the infantry unit will be able to gun it down. Mech, tank, and battlecopter. It's a squad that's capturing the property. It looks like Drake maybe on for a bit of a front switch over here, trying to go towards the west flank. Anti-air tank infantry. Takes the pipe scene with the battlecopter. Could just use an infantry unit for that. Hits the infantry unit twice. Ten capture progress remaining. You can send a 9 health one and get it restored. Looks like another stalemate going on. Medium tank's pushed way forward. Trying to range the Neo tank. There's also a medium tank nearby. Artillery does take out that infantry unit there. Neo tank strikes regular tank there. Anti-air will pick up battlecopter. That was pop the power there. Very nice. The previous power was not recovered by hyper repair. Make some progress on the right side. Some good hits there. Medium tank strikes medium tank. Regular tank's trying to finish off. Does finish off there, preventing the hyper upgrade being super powerful. More hits along the left flank. Most of the penguins also start to run out of burgers. Or penguins. What do they penguins eat again? Do they eat krill? Dragon's turn to 240. 80 starts to turn 149. This may be the turn for superpower. Immediately pops superpower, gets pushed back up to 178. Artillery or mech gets good strike there. Medium tank will strike medium tank. No, that was the artillery. Artillery strikes anti-air. Best attack for indirects first, since they can't move and shoot. Good hits there on the flank. Medium tank will strike the Neo tank. Medium tank will take out the anti-air. And hits the tank there, takes the Neo tank there. Artillery does range the medium tank. Hits the battlecopter there. Mech does strike another tank there, and another mech strikes a tank there. Battlecopter, infantry, tank. Medium tank does strike medium tank there, hits the tank there, and mech does go down. That wooden tank is still alive, and you can simply pull it back, get it some repairs, and more repairs. And more of these tanks are staying pretty wounded. If Andy can squeeze out power next turn, maybe a good idea to depop it. A lot of stuff was wounded in the field. Neo tank, infantry. Ends turn 155, Ain starts turn 142. Does hit that artillery there. Battlecopter will strike medium tank. Mech will finish off the medium tank. Tank on tank. Does he's sorry about that. That sneeze was trying to come out for a bit of time. Hits the artillery there. Medium tank will finish off the regular tank. And hits that infantry unit there as well. Of course, these medium tanks are a little bit vulnerable to these medium tanks. Finish off that infantry unit there. 3 health 1. And Drake has almost enough for another power. He may just pop it. Hits that unit there. Mech gets hit and does get finished off there. Has his power, could just get more power charge before it launches the power. Finish off that wounded tank there. Got medium tanks, he can hit both medium tanks. Like right there, and decided to focus down that one entirely. Tank, and tank. As right now 22,000, so it can go for triple tanks per turn. I'll sneeze again. Medium tank does go down. Feel like another one's coming. Ugh, my apologies. Artillery rotating around, providing some good coverage for that medium tank, which the Neo tank is close by as well. You can wound the medium tank with a tsunami, while the Neo tank easily finished off. Indian serve 145. Drake's now down 124. He was at 240 a turn or two ago. So there's a good amount of units there. ATR does manage to strike the battlecopter there. Almost enough for his full tsunami, but he'll just simply receive a hyper upgrade, so it's best to pop that at the start of his turn. Infantry, medium tank infantry. And didn't even get his superpower, let alone popping it. He can now deploy his superpower after his anti-air got hit by artillery. Andy may be able to deploy his hyper upgrade this turn if he gets some good strikes on it. It's probably a good idea not to pop it though, due to the amount of the superpower now looming over his head. Good number of medium tanks on the map. The Neo tanks have a bit of trouble versus all these targets. And Andy does now have a medium tank over here. With a possible move range from the superpower, it is not too far away from the action. Does take up the tank there, so not popping superpower just yet. Overall pulling back. And serve 138 versus 142 starting, so he's about a turn behind. Battlecopter's down to 13 fuel, Degops at 26. Lucky still has the APC on the field. Infantry, medium tank. Type scene getting hit quite hard right there, down 39 health. Tank, artillery, and infantry with 5,000 bank. Artillery does got that one in there, trying to flip a property. Drake does have a 23,000 income lead, and both players have 2 combat alone. Trying to flip 2 properties now. Tank, mech. I'm still recovering from that sneeze. My apologies. My allergy's been kicking in, so my apologies. I'm a little bit out of it. We do have now hyper upgrade course available. Tsunami's been deployed on the field. He's trying to use the wounded units as try to break through. Takes out the medium tank there. Neo tanks take out both those medium tanks, though he is in range of this artillery. So this medium tank there, 80's taking some massive losses here. Almost all of his heavy armor's left gone. There's only one medium tank. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. And he starts to serve exactly 100,000. Drake ends turn of 173. Let's see how the hyper upgrade goes. That's the other button, the resign button. So Andy has resigned. That's Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Give me a moment to adjust this. This should be good. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. This time it's a live league game. Most times I cast games that are Global League. Live league means you have to make sure you end your turn before the end of the clock, or else it'll end it for you. Spawn on the north side as the Blazing Sun Flak. We got Eternal Blazing Sun. That's not Blazing Sun, that's Red Fire. Why do I think Blazing Sun? I'm going crazy. Spawn on the south side as a Pink Cosmos Adder. We got Dragon Scale. So, got 2 COs, not very common, and let's see how it goes. I rarely ever cast Flak, so I should mention his luck is changed to -9% to +24% rather than from 0 to +9%. So he has a higher chance of doing more damage, but also a chance of just doing not good damage. Adder has no day-to-days. So we got, and I need to actually look up the Flak's values, honestly. I actually don't know Flak's values off the top of my head, because I think I only cast like Flak once, since he's pretty uncommon. Let's see. Brute Force is -19 to +49, and Barbaric Cloak gives -39 to +89 self-block. When it comes to luck COs, you want to swarm your opponents with a bunch of cheaper fodder. And this is Live League and Standard Funds, so let's get started. This is a 3-base map with a centralized seaport and airport. Seaport has good coverage. It has access to this area here and around here, the shores here. There's also a pair of comm towers in the center, which does amplify the effects of luck, which could be important. So Flacco has more influence over the comm tower. Probably it's bad luck as well. Hard to say I have no idea if they will amplify bad luck. I know it can amplify good luck, but I'm not sure if it can amplify bad luck. It may mitigate bad luck. I'm not sure. Black has gone for a tank and artillery piece up for more. We got tank, infantry. Black's tank sitting down south trying to intercept the recon. We got this airport already secured up by Flak, so you can go for a forward battlecopter, but it'll be a base skip. Multiple base skips. And the recon decides to park itself on top of the airport. Goes for a mech there, so it looks like nothing to contest this tank here. The tank could just drive and pursue the recon there. That's probably the best target for it. So he's heading down more this way, which there is, yep, that is traversable this way. So it's probably the best optimal path. Hard to say at the top of my head. But the force is blocking the other path. Got a couple of strikes right there. Should have probably gone for the anti-air on this space rather than trying to go for this space. Now the artillery's in range. Black right now has 25,000 funds in the bank, which is quite a bit. Both players have 16 minutes in the bank as well. Another resource I can manage. Tank. And decides to put some machine gun rounds to the recon. Goes another anti-air right there, as was another tank. Adder's claimed his contracts plus 10% firepower. Does put a round into the artillery there. It's probably not worth it. After all, artillery are far cheaper than battlecopters. Takes out one battlecopter there, and only has to worry about blocking one tile away from the tank to the unit. And also blocking right there is also saving the anti-air as well. So overall, good decision there by Flak. Goes some battlecopter on the left flank, and goes for double battlecopter, infantry. And right now, Adder has no anti-air in this region, so he will need to get out anti-air in this region, which can be countered by the tanks as well. So overall, Adder has a great position on the left flank, and overall feels like he's in a good position on the right flank as well. Center flank is a little bit lacking. Side slips now available. Artillery, anti-air, tank. Does strike that tank there. Good progress down south, even allow the anti-air to make some good progress. Tank, infantry. And infantry. Mech gets onto the mountain. Adder, of course, can make good use of mechs with +1 movement range, or +2. Probably better eyed for the power than superpower, in most cases. Anti-air, battlecopter, infantry, and base skip. Let's see, not even a full sidewinder can range that battlecopter with this anti-air. Get close though. Infantry, artillery. Probably should get this battlecopter out of this region. Right now, Flak has 21,000 versus Adder's 20,000. Has 104 versus 82, so it looks like Adder's about a turn behind. Battlecopter, infantry, and another base skip. Our Flak has right now 26,000. Tank, infantry. They sell that unit there. Tank does push forward. In range artillery, so that may not be a great idea. When it comes to the turns, Flak has 10 minutes remaining versus 16. Answer 5 minutes. Oh, he spent a mass amount of time here. This is the part where Flak will start feeling some pressure due to the lack of tech countdown time. Adder has 18 minutes starting and now activates his power as well. Artillery restrains the tank. Takes out a battlecopter there. Mech takes out the tank there. Flak lost a lot of progress on the left flank. And loses his own loss of trade with the 1 health infantry units. Adder has a good number of battlecopters in the central part. Flak only has 1 battlecopter in here to stop them. Hits that unit there. I don't know what's if you should go for more barbaric blows or brute force. We got a full barbaric blow. Infantry unit takes out infantry unit, but that was an easy trade. Get some good damage there. He looks like he rolled pretty bad luck there. Uh, 14 to 83%. And he rolled 3 damage. Okay, so 4 luck. Tank will strike tank. Looks normal there. 8 here. Finish it off. Capture. Infantry. Looks like another bad luck roll. Uh, 1693. So you got abysmal luck there. And start comparison, probably got pretty good luck there. Overall, feels like this barbaric blow was not great. He probably should have just gone for a brute force, honestly. Adder has another power available. 1 infantry unit in range of the artillery. Flak's turn. End turn 112 for starts out 103. So Flak still is in a good position. Tank does not range 8 here. Does get infantry unit there. Will hit the mech. Does have to be careful with this tank there, but he does have a tank nearby. 8 here. Tank infantry. Adder side slip now active. Gets a good shot there in that 8 here. Hits infantry quite hard. Lost in trade once again. Battlecopter strike battlecopter on the airport. And 1 open air as well above the sea. Mech gets a good strike there and there. Tank does hit the 8 here. Hits the infantry unit there. Tank, and artillery. Enter 114. Adder or Flak has right now 82. Brute force is possible. Brute force is utilized. 8 here hitting battlecopter. You know, I have no idea if that was good or bad luck. Higher luck. Infantry hits battlecopter. Infantry hits battlecopter even better that time. Tank on tank. Looks like a normal luck there, but a little bit below average. Battlecopter finished it off. 1 health 8 here. Did damage to the battlecopter. 5 health battlecopter got some good damage on the battlecopter there. Tank infantry. Does get some damage there. Ends the turn. Looks like he actually ran out of turn timer there. 91 end of the turn. Starts versus 87, so it's Adder's turn. They're roughly equal, but of course the front lines have collapsed on each other, so there's a side slip there. Adder still has 15 minutes remaining, or he starts out the game with this turn with that much. So he is an excellent turn time while Flak is scraping bottom of the barrel. And that's probably going to do Flak in. Tank infantry. And surf starts turn 72 and surf 102. Artillery range is that tank. Tank, and infantry. Get some good damage in the center. Hits the tank up here as well. Another brute force is available, but I don't think it'd be particularly great next turn. Suppose he can make some plays in the center, but right now he's at 76 versus 114. Pops the brute force. He has 2 minutes each turn. I doubt he's going to get any turn stockpile. If he does get turn stockpile, he's generally in a pretty bad position losing so many units. Picks off some outlying units there. Tank could hit the tank. Several of tanks could be a bit more aggressive. Picks off a number of tanks there. ATR does hit the airport as well. Yep, I think Flak's lack of turn timer is doing him in. And Addis does a nice Kufi 16 minutes. He's not only utilizing the 2 minutes quite well, he's able... he lost some time there, but nothing too bad. Actually, no, that'll be up to 60 minutes again. Yeah, Adder's doing quite well. He's making use of 2 minutes per turn, while Flax looks like he's having trouble with his 2 minutes per turn. Well, ran out of time once again. It's that infantry unit. Got some property still displaying neutral, both pairs at 21,000 income. Infantry, tank, ATR, and battlecopter. Get some good hits there. Does not take out the ATR, but basically knocks it out. Battlecopter's trying to be spawned out to protect this flank. ATR way back there. Battlecopter was in the center. He is just grouping up forces on the flank there. Could put one of the artillery pieces on top of the city up there, but right now he's maybe just running out of time because I don't think anything over here has really moved that much. Infantry anti-air. Being a bit defensive there, still maintaining the same amount of time for Adder. Looks like rotating forces around. Just once again runs out of time. Another Adder side slip there. Does hit that 1 health infantry unit there with the battlecopter. Trying to capture the neutral property. Another neutral property trying to be captured there as well. Right now he has 2,000 income advantage, so put him to 24,000 versus 20,000. Which could give him Neo Tank every turn. He deploys a triple infantry unit, so 16,000 left of bank. He's going to go for a heavy unit of some sort. Anti-air strikes battlecopter. Brute force is now available. Oh, pops a brute force. I wasn't expecting that, honestly. Another abysmal luck roll. He has been rolling horrible with this stuff, hasn't he? Yeah, that was basically as extremely bad luck. I mean, it is an open plains. I mean, you would assume at least 5 damage normally. It feels like Flak's been particularly unlucky this game as with his power and 2 power. tank battlecopter, and I think there was a base skip there due to a lack of time. Units rotating around. Infantry. Oh, that's what he deployed his funds on. Battleship. And that is a battleship in a good position. So you could park it anywhere and provide some good coverage. You could try locking down this base there with the battleship. And he only has an artillery to really stop it. He could try and invest 40,000 funds. I don't think he can invest into a submarine. Submarines are what, 16 or was it 20,000? Submarine ships in this game is expensive. I don't remember. Price on my head. Battleship's like 28 or 2,000 or yeah, 28,000. And like aircraft carriers like 32, something stupid. He did use the battleship to strike the infantry there. I disagree with that. I think he should have sailed it to rearrange the base. Battlecopter gets struck by battlecopter, takes out that battlecopter there. Artillery strikes that anti-air there and does get knocked out. Knocks that one out. Anti-air. Infantry. Saves 14,000 funds to bank. Has 14 minutes remaining. Black still has the 2. Goes for a brute force. Gets some hits there, and those luck rolls are actually better. At least usable in this case. Infantry. And infantry. I think he saved some monies there. He did run out of time once again. Battleship is in range of seaport, so if a submarine gets deployed out there, it will be shelled immediately. Another side slip deployed by Adder. Sacks the battlecopter there. It goes for an aircraft carrier. He's going to lock down this airport. I don't think it's a great idea to go with an aircraft carrier, but I understand to a certain degree. But this will be an easy permanent lockdown the airport. It is well within range. Even max aircraft carrier will lock it down. And it is out of range. The battleship has sailed right here. A number of battlecopters in the center on the map by Flak. It does shoot up the battleship a little bit, but this has a hardy hull. It does get pretty hard there by a battlecopter this time. Yep, I forgot how expensive it is. Battlecopter is so effective versus ships. Adder's now at 17 minutes, so he's actually gaining time. There's a battlecopter there. Drops the capture there. Goes for a full fighter. Yep, and this battleship's sort of pinned. It's going to be hit pretty hard next turn again. Probably down, could go down to 1% health next turn. If not outright fully destroyed. This fighter is literally meant to deal with all of these battlecopters. It's a bit of an overaction, honestly. I think Adder's deployed way too much in anti-air. Got an aircraft carrier and a fighter. That's an absurd amount of funds on the field. And just dedicated anti-air. Sure, Flak is still producing battlecopters, but don't get me wrong, but still, I think a fighter's just overkill. Battleship's at 5 health at the moment. Does receive a shot from the battleship. It has 7 health remaining, 7 capture progress. So that property may be flipped next turn. It's the battlecopter there. Got another tank base skip, not even infantry unit there. Another brute force activated. Shells the infantry unit there. Mech does not finish off, that must have been a bad luck roll. Decent amount of damage on that battlecopter. Takes out that infantry in one hit. That one not so much. Aircraft carrier has advanced his way forward. Tank does strike the battleship once again. Battleship does make it back to harbor. Fighter takes out the battlecopter. It looks like the tank does get trapped on the bridge. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. The aircraft carrier does make its way over in the center once again. So in range this airport. In fact, it can still be in range of the airport if it gets to this tile there. Oh, Flak actually has 2 minutes 3 seconds there, so he actually did generate a little bit of time last turn. 3 whole seconds. And do now have a submarine deployed on the field. The battleship's hit enough, he feels confident he can apply a submarine to counter the battleship. Takes out the fighter there. Or say the battleship, you can pull the battleship right here and then put something on top of the sea harbor. Like an infantry unit there. That's probably the best way you can do it. Battlecopter getting hit there, and does hit the ATR there as well. Another sidestep still is not available. Battlecopter, black boat, infantry, and base skip. Black boat there, trying to deny entrance to the inlet. Of course, it's not Days Ruin. You can't have ships cross over bridges. And the submarine did not die for some odd reason. I would assume he would dive to avoid the battleship from shelling it. Just with the power there. Maybe that was a misclick. Tank, black boat. Ran out of time once again. Fighter takes out the 2-0 battlecopter. Flak is now down to 0 battlecopter, so now the fighter has no more targets. And does surround the submarine, at least from this side. Shells multiple targets there. Tank creeper on the left flank, and actually managed to score the 1 health victory this time. Does push forward 2 infantry units there, very nice. And starting to flip that airport. Infantry, tank, and not sure what else. The black ship takes a, or not black ship, the battleship takes a lot of funds to repair it up. And Flak does go ahead and resign there. This hand grade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Another lively game. And that should be good. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on the south side is the Brown Desert Von Bolt. We got Caesari 101. This one on the north side is the Jade Sun Hawk. We got Bongo Banjo. This is a lively game and it's also Fog of War, so this should be quite interesting. This map appears to be a triple base map. You do have a black boat on top of a pipe scene. Airport here, got compounds in the corner. The more players enter the center of the map, the less congested it seems like. Wounded black boats are also on top of the HQs, which Hawk can repair on up. Do have a recon on the left flank for Von Bolt. Tank, infantry there. And a lot of infantry in the last turn by Von Bolt there as well. Hawk does have a tank now. Does do a slight boost. Recon center map does spot the wounded black boat on top of the HQ. A black storm will put it down to 1% health. A black wave will just put it down to 1 health. We got now artillery and recon to put up by Von Bolt down south. Battlecopter, infantry. Tank, infantry, and infantry does get trapped there. Lots of property captures there. So up to 16,000 income versus 10,000, so quite a bit of a difference so far. Tank is the first strike on the recon. It can fall back and be a recon unit. Just fall back to one of these forests. Infantry, tank, and infantry. Up to 14,000 for 16,000. Also trying to flip the comm tower there. Von Bolt didn't manage to capture the comm tower. Artillery, tank, infantry. And double taps that infantry there. Stops the capture entirely. Tank, artillery heading up the city. Another tank infantry forward. So we got a nice chain of tanks there. Anti-air up here. Hawk's paddlecopter is somewhat in the center, but there's a lot of shores and traversable terrain for the anti-air to rotate over here. Tank, recon. Von Bolt right now is 17,000 income versus Hawk's 18. Tank, battlecopter. Does double tack that tank over on the left side. Anti-air is too far out of range to hit that battlecopter. But the artillery's in range of that tank there. It's probably a good idea to shell it. It will probably leave the battlecopter nearby so the anti-air can push forward and hit it. Does shell the tank there, does interrupt the capture of the comm tower, and does fully stop there. Completely surrounds the battlecopter. Anti-air infantry forward. And infantry, and base skip, which that was a purposeful base skip. He has 6,000 funds there. 9 minutes in the bank versus 11 minutes for Hawk. Does get some good strike sounds south. Battlecopter in the region, ATR is pretty far away, so Von Bolt's battlecopter down south will be very effective. Tank, infantry. In turn for 6 minutes, so Hawk spent a lot of time on that turn. Takes the battlecopter there. He could eye a black wave, or go for black storm if he needs a little bit of extra firepower and healing. Only stops that capture once again. It starts capturing the comm tower himself. And it's out of vision range at the moment, if I'm not incorrect. Yes, it is. Or is it? That's got the, or put some good rounds of recon with 1 health remaining. It can still be recon unit. And the infantry unit does not take it out there. It may be close to 1% health at the moment. Tank ain't here. It's the capturing squad down to 2 health. You could try join capturing. He has artillery there to help protect it. Getting a bit of heartburn right now. Good hits there. Anti-air will strike the artillery there for quite a nice amount of damage. You could join capture, of course. Decides not to join capture, just do a regular wound capture. Tank infantry. Resupplies the artillery with the black boat. It hits the tank there. ATR will strike the battlecopter down south. Hits the wounded infantry unit there. Recon hits the infantry unit. Interrupts the capture up north and will not finish off there. Vombo does have +1 comm tower, but feels like his damage is getting a little bit low up north. I don't know. He may be rolling a little bit unlucky this game. Black Storm could be deployed on in, and it may be a good idea to do it. Ex Machina will likely be deployed on the next turn, which could be manipulated, and probably not by this black boat. Looks like no Black Storm. Interrupts the capture. Good number of recons up north. We got a Neo tank, which could draw the Ex Machina. I have no idea where this Ex Machina will land. It hits the greatest accumulation value, which will likely be that Neo tank, which he will spend 2 health to repair it with his day-to-day funds, and he can use a power superpower to get that repaired up to full, but still. Oh wait, I'm getting the players' colors mixed up. That was Von Bolt's last turn. Von Bolt won the Neo tank, so got 2 damage global and 2 health for restoration. My mind's just butchered up. I think my allergies just causing issues with me. Ex Machina cannot be pulled out next turn, which could be drawn over here. He's making good progress over here. Got triple tanks. Ew, this looks like an Ex Machina target. Yeah, right there looks like Ex Machina to me. Let's see. It has 112,000 on the field for Hawk. Von Bolt has 73, so he's severely behind. Hawk has ended a turn of 2 minutes remaining, so Von Bolt has plenty of turn time, which could allow him to win the game. He also did save some money last turn, so he's at 15,000. Or no, that's how much he has left over after repairs. But Ex Machina will likely strike right there. Yep, I guessed correctly. So that effectively locks down this entire flank. This tank can push forward and get some good spotting and good shooting. This tank is definitely locked down. New tank heading on the right flank. Join capture there. 13 capture progress remaining. Tank, infantry. It's that infantry unit there. And it's turned for 86. Hawks are turned for 97. It's the recon there. Contar does get hit. It's that infantry unit there. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. And it's for 116,000. Neo tank strikes a regular tank there. Resupplies a regular tank there. Interrupts the capture. Hits that unit there. Capture progress 4 remaining. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. And try to machine guns that battlecopter. Interrupts zone capture. starts recapturing full health. Tank, infantry, battlecopter. Vulnerable right now is 21,000 versus 20,000. And it's turn of 103. Hawk starts turn 103, so Hawk is about a turn behind. Does strike the regular tank there and there. Good progress down south by Hawk. However, there's still that Neo tank there. Hawk did appear to have run out of time, so the turn abruptly ended. In fact, he did not spend any monies last turn. Yep, it looks like he's out of time, which is going to cause some issues. Bomb Bolt has 5 minutes. He feels like he's been behind this entire game, but his running out of time is massive. Takes out the anti-air there, so now his Battlecopter has free reign at the moment. Anti-air in reserve, though. Another anti-air up here, which is spotted. Recon, Battlecopter, Tank, Infantry. And the artillery does reposition to this force. Did get spotted by that tank there. Full bomber. He decides to spend immediately before he loses his turn again. Artillery. He's holding back in the center and reposition the right flank. He needs a bomber head down south. That Neo tank. Tank recon. Managed to save 29 seconds there. Von Bolt still has 5 minutes. He's been floating around that time. Takes a black boat. He could start capturing the HQ, putting pressure on his opponent like that. Though it would be in range of the artillery. Von Bolt ends turn. He did consume a bit of time that turn, down to 2 minutes. Hawk has a black wave, which could be nice. Anti-air's now in range of the artillery up here. Bomber heading to the center. I think he positioned it out of vision range of everything. Didn't see like a full move there. Artillery, infantry, and battlecopter. He ends turn of 7 minutes or 7 seconds, not too much time remaining there. Anti-air will take out that battlecopter. Artillery strikes anti-air. That unit goes down. And now this anti-air is exposed. And this reserve anti-air is moving forward, so this bomber could get a great strike there. Tanks could charge forward to get some good spotting. No infantry can top the mountainside. It's probably best that the tank strike this infantry unit there and then hit up with that infantry unit there. Yep, a lot of lack of scouting there by by Hawk up north. Anti-air will strike battlecopter. And Von Bolt does have both comm towers at the moment. It's the anti-air there. Bomber nukes the tank. Oh, does not finish off one shot. It must have been a horrible luck roll. I actually just one-shot it. The plus 10% defense by Von Bolt saved the tank. And in fact, also Hawk doesn't have comm tower to overcome it. This 10% firepower would improve his damage at least by 9%, guaranteeing from going 92 to at least 101. Black Storm's now available. None of those units gets wounded. And here does get its ends turn on top of the city. And tries to capture down south. Infantry tank anti-air. Von Bolt's now down to 1:25. Hawk has 2 minutes 2 seconds. And here comes the Black Storm. It's the battlecopter there. Tank does not finish off that unit there. Has not spotted the anti-air just yet. And likely will not this turn. There's a black boat there. In front, shifting the bomb is actually not a bad idea. It will lure the anti-air over here. Or at least get away from a possible anti-air location. As long as the bomber stays in one location, the more likely it will have a bit of support there. Comm tower being secure, looks like it's fully surrounded. Which the Neotank may be able to one-shot one of these guys. Ex Machina is very likely. It highly likely landed right here, hitting both the bomber and battlecopter. Makes some progress up north. Infantry recon. Mech gets shot down the tank and gets finished off. Zax's battlecopter there. Tank hits tank. Ensturn with 94, Hawkster 99, and Ensturn with 9 seconds. So Von Bolt spent his time lead, so now both players are scraping the bottom of the barrel when it comes to time. And Ex Machina did land on the battlecopter and bomber. Or capture progress remaining, so join capturing it, or even just capturing it normally. It's not too far. The 1 health infantry unit can secure the capture. Hits the artillery quite hard there, and this artillery's out of range of everything. Neo tank over here. Recon Mech infantry. Von Bolt ran out of time now. And Hawk did have 25 seconds left over last turn. T-Copter. An infantry unit for that T-Copter. Mostly just withdrawing from the region. This property is still despicably neutral. This made the property difference between the two players. Overall, though that is on Von Bolt's side of the map, so he has more of the flanks captured, while Hawk has more of the center part captured. And looks like we got a fight now followed by Von Bolt. Von Bolt ran out of time there. Hawk has a bit of extra time stored on up now. Artillery does strike that tank down south, and Neo tank lurk in the woods. Bomber advancing, trying to get a first strike on that Neo tank. Second the bomber to take out the Neo tank's probably a good trade. Anti-air strikes infantry unit there in range of the artillery. It does hit the recon there. Neo tank will likely strike that recon, or gets trapped on the Neo tank there. Now the Neo tank pushes forward and hits the artillery. He knows he's going to get hit by the bomber and or Neo tank. Also got another Neo tank in reserve. Fire, of course, is going to be hunting down the bomber, trying to get some air superiority. Pulls back the Neo tank is probably the best choice there. Neo tank takes out the tank there. Battlecraft takes out that unit there. Artillery takes out the recon. I think it would have been better for him to strike the artillery there. He does have vision of it, or the anti-air. Used the bomber for that and did not. That was a pretty bad luck roll, wasn't it? It is only 7 health. So 6 damage guaranteed. He got good damage in return. Yeah, I think he should have used the artillery to hit that anti-air and probably would have one-shot it. Infantry, tank, and battlecopter. Machine guns down the tank. Fighter takes out the bomber. Now the anti-air could take a pretty good hit against that fighter and let the battlecopter hit the battlecopter. Pulls back to the region. Insert looks like he ran out of time there. Hawk's been conserving this time. When conserving means still pretty low. Hawks has 2 Neo tanks on south, going for a full fighter there. It's the fighter down here, so I don't think that was worth to go for a full fighter. And it's to turn a little bit more time, 56 seconds, giving a little bit of float. Trying to flip that central property. And Von Bolt's now back at both comm towers. It's that infantry unit there. Infantry anti-air. Artillery does get struck in Neo tank. Neo tank strikes Neo tank. Does go with the full superpower there. Gives him some good health restoration while at it. And drops a capture there. Trying to flip the comm tower. Battlecopter recon infantry. 22,000 income versus 19,000. This property down south still despicably neutral. Hits the battlecopter there, and battlecopter gets hit there as well. Ex Machina is very likely going to be landing over here. Ex Machina is very... It's his own battlecopter from his Ex Machina. Should have realized like there's two Neo tanks there. And then again, remember, they're scraping the bottom barrel of time. They don't have time to keep an eye of where the Ex Machina will land, though he did have his own turn. Or his opponent's turn to evaluate that. Battlecopter infantry. So this flank is largely knocked out for a turn, but there's nothing to capitalize on it. Alright, let's get one of those battlecopters there. Finish off a tank there. Battlecopter recon infantry ain't here. It's the battlecopter there. Fighter does actually have a decent amount of vision, so able to scout around with 1 HP, though it's not hidden top of the forest. Maybe they don't. They may only just have 2 vision. I just may have got mixed up with the recon vision. Does not take out the battlecopter there. Fighter will finish off the 1 health fighter. Aircraft units cannot hide in forests. Battlecopter strike battlecopter, and we'll finish off the battlecopter there. And here we'll get some hits on the infantry in there, and the mech trying to flip it. Bombo still retains both comm towers, but he's running to lose quite a bit of income right now. It's 17,000, and taking a lot of time just to repair up that Neo tank, which could be spotted next turn and be hit by a Neo tank. Hits the battlecopter a little bit there. Does get trapped there, and will finish off the Neo tank there. It's the squad trying to flip that property. 2 capture products remaining here, so Bombo will capture the last despicable neutral property. We do now have a regular power deploy on field, a black wave, nice little health restoration globally, and damage globally. Tank, battlecopter, recon, infantry. Von Bolt's turn. Down to 58,000, not too much left on the field for him. And looks like he did end his turn relatively early, didn't move a lot of his units there. He had a minute left of the bank, so I'm not sure what went on there. And those units do get picked on off. Slowly whittling down that infantry unit there. Tank, battlecopter, infantry, tank. Oh, and the game can no longer progress forward, so very likely Von Bolt has resigned. Give me a moment to double check this. Yep, looks like Von Bolt has resigned. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Right now, I am not feeling well. I've been having a bit of heartburn. I think it's my allergies, I don't know. I'm just going to call the stream a little bit early today, so everyone, thank you for watching. Have a good evening.